wait another minute. A lot of times Lisa isn't allowed in. It's usually someone isn't allowed in, and it's usually Lisa. The gremlins at City Hall. Okay, so I did roll call in my brain. Do I have to do it then by speaking it?
You should.
Okay. We have Mark Jackson. We have Dana Laird. We have Eric Chandler. We have Jim Frere. We have Barry Bird. Barry keeps moving around the screen. And Liz is hiding. No, we know she's apparently someone logged in with Liz's name. Liz Golden. That's who we have. And approval of minutes.
I have one item in the minutes.
Okay.
Under new business.
Yep.
First line. It says in front of the EN train station.
Oh.
I'd like to see that as East Norwalk, just for clarification.
That makes sense. And
other than that, I didn't find anything.
I found under
I'm gonna leave and come back
Lockwood
in.
Matthews Mansion.
Okay.
Apparently that I remember being a Shore and Country, but apparently it was a Longshore. Maybe there was two parties. No, it should be Shore and Country.
Gotcha.
Probably some kind of autocorrect. I don't think Westport would have us. So now we need to.
I move to approve the minutes as amended.
Yes. Who else will? I guess I can. All in favor?
Aye.
I
I think that's unanimous.
I have to abstain.
Okay, yeah. Next up, public participation. Do we have any? I don't see any people on that. So reports from boards. Norwalk Historical Society, Diane Jellerette.
Good evening, everyone. We have started a Little Red Schoolhouse program. It's not just in the spring anymore. We're finding that the schools want to visit Mill Hill throughout the year. So we're having our first two for the fall coming in next week. So just to let you know, it's now almost year round. So pretty much through the school year, our Little House program has expanded. And it's not just the Norwalk public school systems. We invite other schools to participate and come to Mill Hill, and because it's a unique experience in the area. And Barbara Smith is still running that and thoroughly enjoying having the kids and the teachers come to Mill Hill. Next, we had our autumn ales at Mill Hill on October 10th, which was great. It was a lot of fun. Greg Glaser led the tasting. It was a beer tasting for Oktoberfest, and it was a fundraiser for the Norwalk Historical Society. Coming up is Thou Shalt Not Suffer a Witch to Live, Witch Trials in Early New England. We are having Professor Leslie Littenauer actually present this on October 30th, which is next Wednesday, which is Halloween Eve, at 6:30 to 8 o'clock at Mill Hill. She has presented to us before. But this is going to be very interesting because a lot of people think that the witch trial started with Salem in Massachusetts, but actually it started a few decades before in Connecticut. So this is going to be a very interesting talk. People can dress. if they want. That's optional. The tickets have gone on sale. They are $15 to buy them online. And if you want to buy them at the door, it is $25. So we're encouraging people to purchase tickets online. We have refreshments will be served during and after the presentation. So that should be a lot of fun and very appropriate before Halloween. And the next thing that we're going to be doing is a holiday open house on December 8th. And that will be at Mill Hill on, that's a Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4. And we're going to be looking at our collection to see what we can pull out for the holidays. So we're working with our curator, Michael Murphy, to see what's in a collection, what can we display during the holiday open house. And we're not looking just for Christmas also. We're also going to, celebrate and acknowledge Hanukkah. Hanukkah is actually late this year. It actually starts at sundown on December 25th, Christmas, and it goes through sundown January 2nd. And we'll also be looking at Kwanzaa, which starts on December 26th. So there is a lot of activity towards the end of December this year. But right now, that's what we're doing. Some of you may have already received our latest museum nudes, which went out in the mail. So this week, everybody should be getting that. It is also online. So we are getting busy to now prepare for the next year. So that's where we are with the Newark Historical Society. Any questions?
I have one comment on your report, Diane.
Mm-hmm.
Hanukkah is not late this year. Hanukkah is always on time.
Yes, it is. It is always on time. Depends on how it's being calculated.
Mhm.
Yes. So, and the calculation this year is December 25th.
Don't stay late.
Any other questions?
Thanks, Diane.
You're welcome.
Next up is Lockwood Matthews Museum with Susie.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your support. We had a wonderful Saturday evening gala, and historical commissions chair Dana and Lisa Wilson came, Mayor Reeling, Senator Duff, and their first ladies, and Senator Blumenthal also made an appearance. We were honored to have them all as our special guests. Meanwhile, we had the assistant concert master of the Norwalk Symphony, Manilov, who is a wonderful violinist, and he performed for us during the cocktail hour. And also we had a great dance performance by a school called the Dance Point. It's an award-winning school with a great director who has these students travel abroad and perform throughout Europe and also regionally. We raised quite a bit of funds for our programs and also some funds for restoration of lighting. Larry Cafaro was our exceptional auctioneer, and it was an evening filled with wonderful costumes and interesting people, and I think everybody had a great time. On December 5th, we will present Kenneth Torino. He's going to present an illustrated talk, The Spirit of Christmas Past, 4 Centuries of Christmas in America. Ken is an amazing speaker. He's also on the board of the American Association of State and Local History, and he has just recently written a book on Christmas at museums and historic sites, and that was published in September 2024. Preceding this lecture, which starts at 6 o'clock on December 5th, there's going to be a visit from Santa That's going to be a wonderful family event with refreshments, with photo ops, and of course, our special Santa. And we don't say who it is, but everybody I think knows.
Santa.
And that will be at 4 o'clock till about 5:30. And then after that, we're going to start with the lecture. We are in preparation of some very interesting programs for 2025 and different collaborations, as well as a special exhibit on finance. So we are busy working on all these new lectures, programs, possibly a concert, as well as the exhibit. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Susie.
So I'm
Oh,
supposed to
yes, our
jump
special
in.
presentation.
Yeah, so I'm not good techie wise, so let's hope that I can make this all work to get out of this screen and pull up the presentation, which I'm not able to do right now, so
Do I share a screen or does the city do that?
yeah, you gotta share and then as I mentioned, it's just under 10 minutes. Are you seeing it? It's up on my,
No, we're seeing your launch screen.
oh,
Yeah, that's
okay.
just the launch meeting.
It's on my laptop here. Oh, okay. Now, I told you I wasn't good with this stuff. Any help from anybody? I've got it on.
Try and minimize your launch meeting screen, maybe what you're trying to show behind it.
I
Okay.
did.
I think the problem is Patsy has to share her screen. This is Dana's. So
Okay.
unless Dana has the application or the
Okay.
presentation.
I've hit share screen twice.
Okay, maybe because I did it first.
So, and it says above that I'm saying, okay, so there we are. No, we're back to us.
So Patsy, on the bottom of your screen, click the green
Yeah.
arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, share a screen.
Then select the
Yeah,
one that
no,
says screen.
right.
And click
And
share.
then
And
share.
then click the share button.
Oh, this
Okay.
looks good.
Now,
Now
You're
pick the
almost there.
PowerPoint slide you want to present.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Pick the
Yes.
PowerPoint slide or what you want to share. We
Yeah.
can see your whole screen now.
Okay, I've done that. Anything happen on your end?
Not yet.
Double click on
You
it.
have to double
Yeah,
click.
I have. And it says that I'm sharing the screen.
All right, here
you
you
go.
go.
Okay,
PowerPoint
it's
opening.
opening now.
It's launching now, it looks like.
Okay. But, okay,
There you go. There is
All right,
giant.
you're
button.
good.
okay, so, anyway, the whole purpose of what we're doing is trying to take pictures throughout the whole process so that we have a history of it, of the process, because it's pretty amazing. But we also will be creating the file for history, but then opportunities for fundraising and presentation to interested groups. So this will be massaged as we move forward. So we start out with a plan so it's not moving, guys. What do I do to get it to move?
You're not
Can
in
you-
present mode. You're just in the opening. So if you just click the
Ah.
down arrow, you can go through each slide.
Or go to slideshow and then just go through the
Yeah,
slideshow.
slide.
Yeah.
Okay, where do I find slideshow?
Up top,
On the
Next to
top, it
the-
says slideshow.
Just move your cursor up a little bit. Now to the left. Whoops, not,
To the left.
No, that's
Next left.
mute.
Oh, mouse to the left.
Oh,
There
okay.
it is. Yes.
there you go.
And
Okay.
click
Now go
from
from the
beginning.
beginning.
Okay,
Whoops.
Now click slideshow again.
Hmm.
All the way to the left, there's a little green arrow with a triangle
Oh,
or
from
green
beginning.
triangle
From
to the
beginning.
left. All the way to the left.
from
More.
beginning.
There you go.
Okay, okay.
Woo, yay.
Yay.
Now
Oh,
you click it, it
sorry,
should work.
I warned you. So anyway, starting from the beginning, it's in 2008 that we started with this program, and right now we're on our groundbreaking, which was June 15th of last year. And then this is some of the process that we went through to prep to move out of the building. And obviously, this is the rotunda, and our treasures are being packed and sent off to art center storage facilities. It was a lot of work, and of course, we have to bring, there's Mr. Lockwood getting ready to go out the building. We created a ramp, and all of these light fixtures had to come down, and they are in another separate storage, and then they'll be going back soon. But this is what it looks like when it's empty. This is one of our prizes that we're working on and been raising money for, the Lockwood statue, Children Florence and brother statue that have gone out for restoration. And we raised funds for that through our gala. And that's me packing up to move. This is part of what we have moved over to Strawberry Hill in our own storage places. Our silver vault, and this is downstairs, getting ready to move things out into this trailer, which is full of items that will be a challenge to figure out where they're going to go back in storage. That's part of the inside of the trailer when we were loading up. Of course, this is funded through the state and the city of Norwalk, and we just have some site pictures to show the extent of the actual area that has been disturbed and worked on. This is the dirt pile. It's David was just asking if it's been moved. We had to dig all the way from the mansion to stepping stones. You can see stepping stones over on the left in order to get the water pressure that we needed. And this is right around stepping stones, how much we disturbed their front entrance, creating a lot of disruption. And these are the pipes of it coming into the area where we brought the water in. This is the pad that David and I were talking about at the beginning of the meeting, which is poured, and that's where the condensers and the mechanicals are going to be housed. The site of the front door right down to the dining room over the bowling alley. This is the rendering of the kitchen, of what we thought it was going to look like. And when we had the shop there, and then when it was all partially pulled apart, all the paint is being stripped. They can't figure out how many layers there actually there, but they're in the process of stripping all and restoring all of this woodwork, which is original. And down even to the brick. I think there's another picture of the fire, the brick fireplace enclosure, and then we're sort of back to what the dream is that we're going to look like, but we're getting there. Now this is the kitchen next door, and this is what it looked like when we started.
Okay.
And this is how it got all pulled apart in order to create the new kitchen and to bring the electricity and the plumbing and the heating. This was just a couple of weeks ago, and putting up the paneling to, and this floor just went in on Friday. And this is when we get the furniture in place, it will, be back to the rendering. This is, these photos are to show the length of protection that we did in order to protect the building. This is where the heating system is going to come up through the rotunda. That shot was meeting with the State Preservation Office. This scaffolding was in place on the staircase in order to put lighting, decorative lighting. And this currently is what the rotunda looks like with the spider lift up to the skylight. We're starting to work on that, and I'll mention that at the end. And this is when we cleaned out the basement and just shots of with all the ductwork that was in place, the bowling alley again. And they took up all the bluestone. They protected all of the brick. The bluestone went outside to the site, was stored on site. Now it's all pretty much back into the basement. Huge process. Now the bowling alley is covered for protection, but all the ductwork is down. This is fairly early in the project. This is one of the tunnels that we were told were in the building, and there it is, all opened up. They dug all of these trenches by hand in order to create passageways for the utilities. This is our new meeting room, what it's going to look like, and this is the guys in that room getting ready in the trenches. Poured all cement trenches, put the utilities in, then they get capped with a metal cover and then dirt, and then the slate went back on. This was the water seepage that we were surprised that was there. We didn't know it was there. And this is the remediation that we had to do, and several pumps, some pumps, in order to take care of it. We had to repoint quite a bit of the brick, and that's what that last one was. So this is all of what's in the basement now. And it's just amazing what the process has been. There's several of these and this is the covering, the metal covering over the trenches, and then the dirt back on, and pretty much what it looks like now. All of the slate is back. This is where we're going to be bringing. This is the safe, and this again is a lot of the team. This is going to have a glass cover on it so that people can see the original boiler. This is our dream someday for the bowling alley, and this is Bob Druff with his dream on his bowling alley. But this is the archive section, and the previous one was what we hope is going to look like. And this is the beginning of the prep work. This is going to have movable shelving in place. They're working on that right now. These walls are going to be sheetrocked and covered. These are just temporary protecting something. They're not going to be in the middle of the room. These are the vaulted ceilings, which we had to, close in order to contain any potential moisture. And this is what hopefully it's going to look like when we're finished. This is the billiards room. And again, this is to show the protection care. They made a total staircase. The main staircase was not used for construction other than putting the lights in. This room has been done. They took all the floors out, put them back, and now we're in protection again. And this is Mrs. Lockwood's bathroom. They were very careful to protect the burglar system, which were those wires that you just saw. So this is obviously Tom Livingston and Alan and David and Robert Cavello. But all of these boards came out of every floor, tagged, inventoried, and this is the mechanicals going into the floors on the second floor in the bedroom area. This is the fire suppression system. This is actually up on the third floor. Again, on the third floor. And we took this picture because this was part of their original plumbing, which was very interesting. This was the children's theater room, but all of the floors were taken to that point. These pipes here are up on the attic, and it's for the fire suppression. And these are the pipes that we could connect it up from stepping stones. These are the location for the sprinklers, and those are all going to be painted to the background color of wherever we were. We actually looked at every location throughout the building where these were going, so that we would not have them be very visible. So this is the cut for it. And again, this is another picture of all of the flooring up, and now this is it going back. And this is the aerial view of what we're gonna look like, I hope, in a few months. Our scheduling, I can turn this off now, right? Stop share.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, okay. So that's a bit of what's going on, and you can see it's an amazing project. So the plans right now was that we would, the construction team would be out by the end of the year, so that we would have it turned over to us by January 1st. However, just this past week, when working on the skylight with that lift that you saw, the spider lift going up to the skylight, we found that there was a structural problem with one of the beams. And when we opened it up, the beam is rotted. And so we're right now in the process of working with engineers and a design in order how to handle it. We don't know the full breadth of that yet, but that could push us out on a timeline. And it's a challenge, and we don't know the true extent of how much damage there is on the roof. And this is rot that was caused 20, 30 years ago, before the city, put on a new roof. The skylight is hung from the rafters, so that when we look up from the rotunda and you see the skylight, that's the floor of the attic. So there's a whole nother layer up there, and it was hung, it's hung and supported from the rafters. So we're in the process of dealing with that now, and we keep everybody apprised of where we are when we know exactly how to solve the problem and what's going to cost and how we're going to deal with it. So I don't know if anybody has questions that
I
went
had a
quickly.
question.
And
I was wondering about the tunnel.
oh yeah, the thing went
Where
so
did you find
fast.
That tunnel went to?
Yeah, well, supposedly we were told through the years that they went down to the river, and that they sucked up cold air. It was part of the ventilation system, the green part of the building. And that is something where, for us as years go by to really get more deeply into all that. But when you saw the first hole, and then they dug and they found the tunnel, they used the tunnel to put mechanical in there. But we found several bottles that were in there, and a couple upstairs, and a couple of a tool up on the 3rd floor that was in between the rafters. So
So
and
did it
a
go
newspaper.
out to the river?
Well, that's what they said, but we weren't
follow
able
it?
to pursue it. Years past, we tried to figure out a lot of what went down to the river from the mansion, but it was never determined. And of course, with the police station being built, a lot was disrupted around the building, and it's destroyed, So we haven't been able to answer that, Lisa.
Yeah.
But it's another challenge for us.
GPR.
Yeah.
Okay, just wondering.
That's a good question. Fun. Yeah. Anybody else? No. Okay, great.
A lot of good work going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, great job.
Yeah,
Really incredibly challenging. Incredibly
Yeah.
challenging.
Thanks,
Patsy.
Patsy.
thank
Patsy,
you.
Patsy, just one question. Do you know, and if you don't know, could you ask, are they going to do an as-built survey of around the mansion after, as part of this project, to close it out?
You mean ground survey?
Yeah, because I need to know, I need a drawing with where the pad is and all that stuff.
Oh,
Because
yeah. Oh, that part, what we've done, but not what's there that we don't know, I mean.
just on the top,
Yeah,
because whenever we get to relaying out the parking area and possibly
Mhm.
putting the circle back,
Right.
that's going to be
Well,
important. So,
Yeah, right. No, we have a lot of diagrams, and I'll double check on the as-built.
And also, is the
Yeah.
extent of the cemetery, does it go into any area that we don't know it?
No, we don't, we're not anywhere near the the
Right.
cemetery. But
It
you know,
just
we
made me
had,
think about that, like while we're
yeah,
talking about. the
but when you
circle and
think that we
parking.
had to really dig, and that cost like $175,000 to go from the building over to stepping stones to get water, the pressure that we needed for it. Because, you know, the building itself is half in the first district and half in,
Oh, no.
well, mostly in the second district, a little bit in the building, in the first district. And the water lines for the two districts end out on West Avenue in front of, because that's where the district line is. So where the old armory was, that's about where the line, so one district has their line, they dead end there. And that was part of the issue with pressure,
Huh.
because they're dead ended in that location. So we had to go out to get access to Butler Street and to hook into where Stepping Stones is getting their water.
So
It's
when South
crazy.
Norwalk was a city and the borough of Norwalk, that was the line, that same line for like the town and the city.
Yeah,
Because that's
yeah,
why the Nathan Hale fountain was right
right.
there as well, because it was, equidistant or in the middle
Yeah.
of both of the centers.
Yeah, but the line goes right through pretty much through the kitchen, you know, and most of it's in the second district. So anyway, so thanks again, guys. We'll keep you up to date when we know what's happening.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for all your work.
You're welcome.
Uh,
I'm gonna leave you all.
Okay.
Thank
Night.
you. Good
Thanks.
night.
And Santa too, I mean Doug.
No, just thank you all for your support. It's an amazing adventure we've been on for the last 2 years, and we got a few more months to go for sure. But it's very interesting. You just don't realize how much labor must have gone into building this building, let alone renovating the building. It's amazing. It really is.
Might have been easier building it rather than unbuilding it and putting it back together.
They didn't have power tools back in those days.
Oh, that's true. Well,
Yeah,
They had a lot of labor.
how many years did it take to build it?
4, I
Four.
think.
yeah,
Or-
or
4. Yeah.
And do you have any idea how many people worked on it?
I don't. We have pictures of some of them, and they lived on the site. There are a couple of makeshift buildings that they lived in, and most of them were from Italy, from the outside work, the stonework, and then a lot of the woodworkers, German and Italian artisans. And so part of what I'm hoping to do with these slides and things is to get the trades involved in the building, and then to create hopefully a mechanical exhibit, a permanent exhibit with the boiler that we're saving. And as I mentioned, there's going to be a glass door, window in front of it. It's going to be closed off because it's right on the bowling alley, and then some of these other pieces of the concept that they had of bringing cold air up through the chimneys, at the fireplaces rather, and the skylight, which the skylight opened for ventilation, for the heat rising. Pretty amazing. And the burglar system is really incredible. And the guys, there's one shot that I showed you quickly. I had asked them to really take care and not to cut through them, because they're all copper wires and they're wrapped in silk. But we wanted to keep the integrity of them, and they really paid attention to that with a lot of care, because those lines go to every window in the building. So not just on the first floor, upstairs as well. It's really amazing. So
Are you gonna
it's,
maintain the patina of the boiler or are you gonna shine it?
I haven't even thought of that one, Lisa. That one is, I
Wondering.
I don't think so. I don't think we would make any major changes, but
Yeah.
you know, getting this exhibit, it's important to do. And it tells a wonderful story. And with the focus on, you know, the green world that we're trying to get to, here where they were 150
Hmm.
years ago, you know, doing it as best they could then.
Did you find the bowling pins in the ball?
Um, I told Lisa this the other day. I'm working in the archives, shuffling cards, accession cards, and I'm doing it quickly, and all of a sudden my eye sees the word bowling, and so I stop, and I've found that there are 6 pins somewhere in one of our boxes, and then the next day I'm doing another pile, and I see bowling ball. So apparently we have a bowling ball. So Susie, and she's still with us or not, but we're talking about creating, you know, just a case down on the bowling alley and putting the bowling pins and ball. But there's also a wonderful croquet set, which is a very heavy box. It's all in this beautiful box, but you know, so as we unpack some of the things that have been stored up on in the attic all these years, it gives us opportunities to tell the story in different ways and in more detail. So that'll be a project for us as we move forward. Got a lot of ideas,
Mm.
new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that bookcase that was located that was on the recent social media that I saw that was once in the Lockwood Matthews mansion?
No, I didn't see that. When you see that stuff, you need to let us know.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because David, did you see it?
I did see it on this trip when I was perusing Facebook on the
I say
airplane.
bookcase, but it's not really a bookcase. It's like
It's that
probably has a
cabinet.
fancier word and it's much more elaborate.
Yeah, it's the cabinet. We know about it. It was unfortunate. This guy bought it and put it in this museum in Philadelphia or Maryland, but he posted it to the Lockwood Matthews Mansion Facebook page with his long story about how he found it
Yeah, that's what I
and
saw.
now he's put it in this museum and how someday it might make its way to Lockwood Matthews Mansion. And it was all, I did refrain myself from posting because I was so annoyed about the whole thing.
But he had
but
all
yeah,
it looks like it. I mean, yeah.
But-
Anyway,
no, it's we know it is, and
Yeah.
it's annoying that the auction house that we bought a tiny little $21,000 chair from didn't bother to let us know they had it before they sold it to this guy.
Yeah.
So
you know, but we have recently been gifted a 1874, David. Is that right? The right year?
1871.
Steinway square piano. In beautiful condition, and David went to look at it in New Canaan, right?
Yep.
David? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then recently we were also given a beautiful settee in excellent condition. So the excitement about what's happening, and then just today, someone wants to give us a chair that's not of the museum, and we're very careful through the years that we just try to take things that are absolutely to the period and hopefully of the house. And so we, you know, we can't take everything. We have to be very selective, but we're getting more energy is the important part of this, of people recognizing us and wanting to donate. The piano is beautiful, right, David?
The piano is beautiful. It's been fully restored by professional Steinway people, and it sounds really good. And we think we're going to be able to, you know, do music performances with it in the music room, which will be cool. So.
Okay, I will sign out this time so you can get on with your business. Night.
Thank you, Patsy.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is reports. A is buildings. I haven't heard anything from Neil. Maybe David has heard something.
So I don't know if you guys are up on the Gate Lodge mold issues that have been going on for several months.
Yeah, we mentioned that last month, but yeah.
Yeah, so they tested for mold again, and the count on the first floor was high again, too high for them to move, for the Cultural Alliance to move back in. So facilities they're bringing in ServPro again to clean everything, the first, second, and third, the basement level, the first floor, and the second floor, and then retest each floor. I'm kind of worried about this one because if this doesn't get it, I think the next step is going to be looking at, pulling the walls out, and, a pretty extensive, complete renovation of the building. I don't see any real way around that. So I'm hoping for the best on that one, because that's a project that we really didn't have planned at this point. A couple of other minor things on buildings. The plans, we've been working for several years. We've had capital funding on the museum by City Hall, and we have a plan to convert the basement into 2 very large exhibit rooms, one more for exhibits, one more for lectures, with an outside exterior entrance. And that's coming along. They just finally were able to get a mechanical engineer to say, yes, we can move things around in the HVAC system without any problem, which will allow us to make the space very flexible. The big challenge now is for us to actually move stuff out of the basement so that we can actually start demolition on that and go from there. The other thing I'm excited about, the facilities hired Gill & Gill Architects to oversee and project manage the interior renovation of the jail, so that project may get finished in our lifetimes finally. And I have a meeting on Friday to see preliminary plans that they put together. They got the plans from the old architects who were based in Virginia, and they're tweaking them and updating them. So hopefully we're going to get that project moving along. That's
What time is that on Friday?
10:30.
Okay. Oh, the East Avenue, whatever, I can't remember the number of that, our other building, is that the elevator goes down to the basement, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
great.
Yeah, we had intended to,
Yeah.
that's why we did that, so that we could
Yeah.
turn this into usable space.
Okay. Cemeteries, I'm not sure if they took the trees down yet.
They have not. So
Yeah.
there's 4 trees posted to be removed at Pine Island. Mike and his crew came in and they repaired and regraded the road that's part of the Norwalk River Valley Trail. It looks really good. And I also worked with Norwalk Tree Alliance, as I have been the past several years, and we planted 10 more trees, some dogwoods and some witch hazels. So we're trying to do a whole arboretum of flowering ornamental trees of the Northeast that stay short and don't get big and fall over and destroy tombstones. So it looks really good. I was pretty excited about it.
I think I saw one in trouble, but the other one was I have one in my yard. I can't remember the name of it. The little one, the purple flowers.
The redbud.
Redbud.
buds.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, we replaced. There was a couple that had died. Those were cut and replaced, and I expect some of these probably aren't going to make it because of the drought we're having. But they're guaranteed, so they'll be replaced.
And there's one far over by the curve, by the ramp for Route 7 that has, it's not a proper tree, but it's covered with spotted lanternflies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it has little cherries, or I don't know what the tree is, but
is it the mulberry, the big mulberry? That's
a new tree.
There?
It's a new tree.
Oh.
A newly planted tree. So.
Oh, it's covered with lanternflies, the new one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. I'll go
Not even the
tomorrow.
host.
I'll look tomorrow.
Yeah,
Is it a tree that the city planted?
No, the Tree Alliance, the
Oh,
Northern Tree
Tree
Alliance
Alliance,
has
okay.
been donating trees for us.
Yeah. I like to go into that weeping larch, is it? Whatever it is. It's kind of like a little secret room.
We trimmed it up a little bit too.
Oh, okay.
So, and that will become a secret room as it gets bigger, just like a weeping beach.
Yep. I walked through Reed, looks okay. Brookside is okay. I haven't been through Kellogg, but that's our cemeteries. Next up is financials, and since David's here, maybe you have something.
We're budgets are all fine. I mean, we're spending money as we need it, and we haven't run out, so that's good. And I just sent some emails. I'm trying to find out when the timing for the 25-26 budget call should be out. I haven't seen anything. So we've got to start thinking about that and prioritizing the projects that we want to get done next year. The main thing that I want to get moving forward is the jail. We'll find out how big of a problem we have with the Gate Lodge in a couple of weeks, and see where we're at with the mansions. So those will, be the biggies.
They've already had a couple of meetings, a couple of public hearings on the budget, the operating budget and the capital budget. But those are just pick up information from the public, that's all.
Yeah, I haven't seen the package gone out to the department heads yet. So
no, you should see it momentarily though.
Okay. Is there somebody acting in Jess's place, Jess Vonacek? Because that's who I coordinated with. And now that she's gone, I just don't want it to slip by.
I can read.
That's a good question. I could find out for you. Josh Goldstein's the chairman of that committee. I'll ask him.
Yeah, and
I think
usually Sabrina Church is usually a good contact.
Yeah.
The ECD office.
Okay.
Where else?
Okay. Guess that's it for reports then. Old business. I guess Todd noticed that 31 to 35 South Main is for sale. So I don't know what they are up to now, the new hotel people. And 25 South Main's demolition delay is over on the November 5th. So that's all I have for that. Anyone else notice anything or have anything to update? Or I guess that would be a new business.
I had a question.
Right.
Dana, have you or anybody else heard anything from the walk bridge on the archaeology project?
No. I've only gotten those just general things.
Good question.
And something about Group 7, so nothing about Walkbridge yet.
Which is different. So I don't know if you guys know that Mandy Ranslow is back at DOT. Y'all may have covered that in a previous meeting.
Right.
But I did communicate with her when I saw the announcement, and that's going to be very good for us. I mean, I'm very happy that she is back, and she's taken over Mark McMillan's role, which is the head person over cultural and historic resources within the DOT. So that's promising.
She's very easy to work with and knowledgeable, so everything you want.
Well, she's honest.
Yeah.
So that's helpful.
So yes, I'll have to maybe I'll drop her a line. New business I received, I think I already knew about the three buildings on houses on Oxford Street are scheduled for demolition. Those are adjacent to the new South Norwalk School, so we won't put a demo delay on those. Anyone else notice anything around town?
Well, I haven't done any, there's no update on the monument that was by the East Norwalk train station.
Right.
But I would like to make an appointment and to see what the plan is so that we could get some feasibility about where that should be reinstalled, since we have the opportunity to have input on that. So that's something I would like to do, or, you know.
Right, I guess.
Yeah, to see the plan, just to see, see what we could even, what the scope, what their scope is, and what, you know, so it doesn't have to go right back in the same place and sidewalk. You know, maybe there's a better place where it could be better showcased.
You should make sure that Mandy Ranslow is aware of that. I mean, because that's probably a detail she hasn't even, you know, she doesn't even know, and that's important, and she should know about it.
Yeah, well, I brought it up at the last meeting, and in the mayor, and you know, I kind of made everybody aware that I was concerned about it. It just disappeared, and I really would like to see it, make sure it's okay. It's with the contractor apparently, so that just makes me a little bit nervous because I don't know how it was moved, and but anyway, they're going to loop us in on that, where it could go. And are looking for input, but I'd just like to see the plan, or whatever they're planning to do, to even know where to start with that. The other thing is, I toured Manresa. I was on the roof of Manresa building yesterday, and that's a cool thing, but I don't know if we should be thinking about any kind of historic aspect of it. I don't want to bog down anything, but just to throw that out there. I know Todd Bryant is looking to maybe do some extensive photographs. I took like 500 pictures. But I don't know if there's, I mean, it's so filled in with coal ash and over the years that I don't know if any archaeology it would ever be possible, but just something to think about now that we have the opportunity to have some kind of input when they're ready to get suggestions, that there might be something of historic nature, or even just the power plant building itself and all the stuff that's left in there. There seemed like there was, you know, some old photos, and I think they have a plan for it. I don't know what it is, but just throwing that out there as something to watch, or something to, you know, maybe we can think about if anyone has more information on that preservation.
Even what happened with anything left from the
foundations and stuff.
The they're not nuns, they are
the monastery.
Jesuits.
The monastery.
The monastery, yes.
Yeah.
The Jesuits.
The Jesuit priests. Yeah, I was asking if they knew of any foundations, and I'm actually signed up for both tours because I'm ridiculous like that.
I copied you.
Extensive building one, and I went on the ATV, and on Monday I signed up for the waterfront, the walking tour. So anyway, I'm going to look at the map of where things used to be and have an eye towards that.
I signed up for something on Monday and the next week.
And Mark too. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, which doesn't have really anything that ties into anything you're talking about, but I just want to.
Yeah. I have an artwork I did of an aerial shot of Manresa. I'll have to show it to them.
I'll buy it.
Kind of small, but okay. So I think we covered everything.
Seems like.
And so Eric perks up all of a sudden. That means it's time for number 9, which is called adjournment, which means.
So before I call for an adjournment of the meeting, I want to wish everybody a happy Guy Fawkes Day on November 5th. Don't forget to vote. And since the 4th Wednesday of November will be after Thanksgiving, have a happy Thanksgiving. And on that note, I move to adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?
Happy
Need a second.
Thanksgiving too, everybody.
Oh, second,
Yeah.
second, third, fourth.
Second.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Okay.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Night.
Good night.
Bye.